Hello everyone, and welcome to the brand new 2A in LA channel, coming to you live and direct from beautiful Southern California, Los Angeles specifically. And so before we even get started, a couple of disclosures. Anything that is ever said on this channel is strictly my opinion and the opinion of whoever my guests may or may not be. You should not take it as fact. You should not take it as law. You should always do your own research and get to the bottom of things that way. Okay, let's get started. So this is the inauguration of the 2A in LA channel. This is our very first telecast. So I'd like to talk to you and give you kind of a brief introduction. So this will be a short video about why the channel was started, what we're going to be talking about, and also who my inspirations were for starting the channel. So let's start off with number one, why background on the channel. So let's start off with background on why the channel got started. So obviously by the name 2A in LA, I am a gun owner. I'm a gun advocate for gun owners' rights, and I'm in Los Angeles, California, which, if you're familiar with the gun laws in California, you know that it's a tough thing to be here. And so the way I got into guns, I have a dad who is retired law enforcement. He taught me how to shoot at an early age, but then I discovered kind of sports and girls, and I went off to college, and I kind of lost, I guess you could say, my interest in shooting as I got into my kind of late teenage years. I did buy a small 380 when I was in college, kind of around the time the civil unrest took place. And ironically, I hadn't really thought about it too much. Over the years, I kind of thought, you know, maybe I should get a new weapon for home defense, probably a 9mm or something, and just never got around to doing it. Well, when the pandemic broke loose and you had people standing in line for hours to get water and toilet paper, and all this stuff was going on, and then civil unrest was taking place, I felt like maybe now is a good time to go out and get a new home defense gun. Well, little did I know how difficult it had become to acquire a gun in the state of California. And so we will do a video at some point in the very near future on exactly what you have to go through in the state of California to get a gun. But I went through the process, which was not a quick or easy one given the laws in California, also given the circumstances surrounding the pandemic, and I got the bug. My first new gun, I took what was available in the store at the time. It turned out to be a Springfield Armory 1911. Didn't even know that that was good. It was a .45 caliber gun, and I really wanted a 9mm. But I said, great, at least I've got what I thought was a good gun for home defense for now. And then a 9mm came available not too long after, so I wanted a 9mm, so I got that as well. And since then, I have been accumulating firearms. I have been shooting a lot more. I've attended a couple of training classes to get better. And now I'm a full-blown gun nut, for lack of a better word. And so I love guns, so a lot of what this channel will be about will be gun related, reviewing different guns, talking about the guns that I have, the guns that I want, the guns that I can't get because I'm in California. We'll also have some training and informational things. Also, I'd like sometimes just to talk about things that are going on in our society right now, in our world, maybe provide a different perspective than many of you are getting out there on YouTube. Also because I'm a relatively new gun owner and there's so many of us now, right? As I talk about my journey, maybe many of you will find that helpful. I'm also a big golfer, golf weekly. I'm into cars, and so maybe we'll touch on those things as the channel evolves. But I want this to be a place where we can have open communication. I want you guys to comment on the videos that I produce, and hopefully you appreciate the content. Hopefully you appreciate my perspective, and hopefully this is a start of what will be a great journey. So, inspirations for the channel. What you guys all need to understand is that when I started my journey with guns, I didn't know anything. I knew practically nothing. I didn't know how to go about buying a gun. My knowledge of shooting a gun was limited at best. I didn't know what guns to buy. I didn't know the difference in calibers. I didn't know where to go to shoot guns, where to go to buy a gun. I didn't know anything. I didn't know the best way to hold a gun. I didn't know anything. And so I really went on, after I bought my first couple of guns, I really went on a journey. I went on a YouTube journey. And I educated myself primarily from some phenomenal YouTubers out there that provided me different information. And so they were really the inspiration for me to start my own voice. Their voice helped me kind of find mine. And so I want to definitely give a shout out to them. For all you new gun owners who are kind of new to YouTube and new to gun channels on YouTube, definitely seek these people out that I'm going to reference now. Make sure you subscribe to their channels and you like their posts. You will get so much good information from them. So I'll start off with a guy who I stumbled across because primarily he talked a lot about what was going on here in California. He lived in California for most of his life, not too long ago, relocated to Las Vegas, but still gives good information and good content for all people, but a lot of good information for Californians. And that is the Daily Shooter. And such a nice guy, you know, videos are well produced, great information. And he doesn't know me from a can of paint, but I had an issue when I bought my first AR-15. I was having an issue with the bolt, and I really didn't know who to go to. I really didn't know who to address. I was kind of researching local gunsmiths, and out of the blue, I kind of shot him and a couple other people, other couple of YouTube producers, email and a question that, hey, you know, I'm having this issue. Nobody responded but him. He emailed me, sent me pictures of what he thought it was doing and why it was doing it, told me, you know, don't stress about it. It's an easy fix. Your local gunsmith can take care of it. Shouldn't cost very much at all. Of course, he was right on point. So shout out to the Daily Shooter. If you're not watching his channel, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. You won't regret it. Another issue that I was having is I needed to understand the gun laws around California. I needed to understand kind of what I could do, what I couldn't do, what was legal, what was illegal, how could I transport weapons, how could I get ammo, what were the rules, regulations, etc. I leaned heavily on the Armed Scholars channel and on Reno May's channel for those things. Both of them are based here in California. So a lot of what they were talking about was specifically relevant to Californians, but also nationwide. And if you watch their channel, they're always giving you really good information. If you're trying to understand, you know, again, what's legal, what's not legal, what's okay, what's not okay, check out those two guys. I'm going to leave links to all these people's channels I'm referencing down below. They were great. Colion Noir, who is pretty well known. He's a heavyweight in the industry. He's African American. He was on NRA TV for a while. Actually, this is one of his hats I'm wearing right now. He was inspirational because he was the first guy in the 2A community that I found that kind of looked like me. And so I could relate from that perspective. And of course, he's really good, really knowledgeable. His productions are phenomenal and he's entertaining. So check out his channel. You're going to like Colion as well. Honest Outlaw is another guy. When it comes to what type of weapon you should own, the pros and cons of each one, you got to check him out. First of all, he's a phenomenal shooter. He'll give instruction. And again, when it comes to choosing a firearm, you definitely want to check out his channel. Tactical Toolbox was another guy who I got a lot of good information from and who I really like his content. I think you'll enjoy him. And last but certainly not least, 32 Icon. So 32 Icon is an African-American woman who lives in Connecticut. And when I watched her channel, she was the first one where I felt like it was one of my relatives. You know, it was my cousin. It was my sister. It was somebody who spoke the way that I spoke, shared similar interests and experiences, had a way of doing videos where she may be reviewing something, but gives you also a sense of who she is and the way she does it. She brings her own personality and way of doing things into her videos, and I find it very, very entertaining. Plus, she's a sister who's doing it in the gun world. I love that. I wish more women of color would get involved with guns. I think some people in our community feel like it's taboo or you shouldn't do that or whatever. She's great. So definitely check out 32 Icon. So that's it for the first video. So again, I hope that you guys will appreciate the content that I'm going to be bringing you. I hope that you will find it entertaining and informative. I hope that you will want to come back. And I look forward to growing the channel and growing the channel with you. All right. So take care. See you soon. Peace.